1-1. Hit to third, suits, throw across in time for the out. 2 up and 2 down here in the 5th inning.
Shortstop number 17, Alexis Scalzo.
And Alexis Scalzo will come to the plate. Scalzo has singled, walked, and doubled, as she has scored 2 runs. All 9 starters for Lee, with the exception of Smith, have scored a run. First pitch from Reynolds. Low for a ball, 1-0. Reynolds toes the rubber for the 100th time. And the pitch. Called strike on the outside corner. 1 ball, 1 strike. 1-1 the count to Scalzo. Reynolds, the 1-1. Called strike, 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes to count to Scalzo. One-two delivery is high, 2-2. Reynolds has not struck out a batter, and she has walked 3. 2-2 the count to Alexis Scalzo. The pitch. Line towards second. Hughes flips on to first for the out, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Keelan Reynolds. 3 ground balls around the infield. Middle of the 5th, it is Lee 11, Tusculum 7 on the Pioneer Sports Network. Bottom of the 5th inning, Tusculum trailing 11-7. Freischmidt, Smeltzer, and Alloway due up
14, Chloe Freshman.
against Madison Barnett, who's only thrown 73 pitches through 4 innings. She's allowed 7 hits and 7 runs, but only 2 of those runs have been earned, with 2 walks and 3 strikeouts. And first pitch to Freischmidt is fouled away. 11 runs allowed by the Pioneers, 1 shy of the season high for runs allowed, which was 12 against Anderson on March the 29th. They allowed 11 to Augusta back on February the 6th. Next pitch is low for a ball, 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike to Freischmidt. She'll be followed by Smeltzer and Alloway here in the 5th. Beaten foul at the plate, 1-2. One ball and 2 strikes to count to Chloe Freischmidt, hitting .295. So it's golf to left center field. It's hit pretty well, but the wind is going to knock it down, and Cole will make the catch in center field. On a different day, that might have been gone, but the wind got it for the first out.
Number 20, Claire Smeltzer.
Freischmidt now 0 for 3 as Claire Smeltzer will come to the plate. Smeltzer has grounded out and singled, and she scored a run during that 4-run fourth inning. Barnett's first pitch is outside for a ball, 1-0. Want to know the count. Pitch. High and away, 2 balls and no strikes. Barnett ready to deliver her 80th pitch of the game. It is fouled away, 2-1. Two and 1 the count to Smeltzer. The pitch low and in, 3-1. Three balls and 1 strike the count to Claire Smeltzer. Got it on her hands, fouled, and it'll drop it out of into foul territory. As Patton gave chase but couldn't get there. Three and 2 the count. The pitch. Inside corner, called strike 3. Fourth strikeout for Barnett. 2 out here in the 5th.
The DP, 0-0, Anna Alloway.
And Anna Alloway will bat. Alloway has walked and singled and scored twice. First pitch coming from Alloway is lined towards short. On the run, Scalzo gets the out. And a little bit of sanity has returned to this ball game as both teams go in order in the 5th. We go to the 6th. It's Lee 11, Tusculum 7 on the Pioneer Sports Network. We head to the top of the 6th inning. Lee still leads this one 11-7. They'll have the 8, 9, and 1 batters due up here in the 6th. Harris, Cole, and Patton to face Keelan Reynolds. Reynolds, 5 innings, 11 hits, and 8 runs. First pitch is a called strike in the outside corner. One strike to Harris, who has fly to right, singled in a run, and been hit by a pitch and scored a run. Low, 1 ball, 1 strike. One ball, 1 strike, the count to Harris. Outside, 2-1. Two and 1 the count, the pitch. Bouncer to short, Hodges scoops, throws in time for the out. 5 in a row retired by Reynolds, all on ground balls. 1 out in the 6th, and Shelby Cole, the center fielder. Cole has had quite a day. She grounded out her first time up, then walked with the bases loaded to knock in a run. Her last time up, a 3-run triple to left center field. She's knocked in 4, now up to 179 average for the season. Called strike. One strike the count to Cole. Strike 2. Nice pitch there from Reynolds. Nothing in 2 the count to Cole. The pitch. Off the plate, 1-2. Reynolds up to her 110th pitch of the afternoon. It's the 1-2 delivery. Bounced up there, 2-2. And this one's lined foul. Still 2-2. Two and two the count remains to Shelby Cole. 2-2 pitch coming from Reynolds. High, 3-2. Three and 2 the count to Cole. Reynolds pitch. Hit foul again. Cole working this count here. It's full count. 8th pitch coming up from Reynolds to Cole. And it's outside, ball 4. Cole walks for the second time. And she is a 1-out base runner for Brianna Patton.
Third baseman, number 4, Brianna Patton.
Patton has reached on an error, singled, reached on a fielder's choice, and singled. Scored 2 runs, knocked in a run. This one's up the middle into center field for a base hit. McGinnis will return it to the infield. Third hit of the day for Patton. And runners are at first and second with 1 out. 12th hit of the game for Lee.
Left fielder, number 3, Anna Maka.
And Anamaka will come to the plate. Maka has reached on an error, grounded out, singled and grounded out. 1 for 4. First pitch from Reynolds. Up the middle, Hughes backhands it and knocks it down. That's all that she can do. That'll be an infield single for Maka to load the bases. As Hughes had to go hard to her right, she was able to get a glove on it to knock it down, but couldn't scoop it. So an infield single has loaded the bases for Deatter, who is 2 for 3 with 2 RBIs. First pitch is up and away for a ball. Deatter had a 2-run double in the first, walked in the second, reached on a fielder's choice in the third, and a single homer run in the fourth. Now batting .377. Reynolds pitch. Inside corner for a strike, 1-1. One and one the count, the pitch. 2 balls and 1 strike. Two and one the count, the pitch, swing and a miss, strike 2. Two balls and 2 strikes. The pitch outside, 3-2. Three-two pitch. Ball 4. That'll force in a run as Cole scores. Everybody else moves up a base. Third RBI, fourth RBI of the game for Deatter. It's up to 40 RBIs this season. And Javaria Smith hoping to get in on the fun here. She's 1 for 4. She's singled, into a fielder's choice, and grounded out twice. Batting with the bases loaded. And taking a called strike. One strike, the count to Smith. Patton at third, Maka at second, Deatter at first. One out here in the sixth, 12-7 lead. Change up in there for a strike. 0-2. The 0-2 pitch is low and away, 1-2. One and two the count to Smith. Reynolds pitch. Inside, 2-2. Two and two the count to Smith. Reynolds pitch is off the plate, 3-2. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Three and two with 1 out here in the sixth. Reynolds pitch. Called strike 3. Smith down looking. First strikeout of the game for Tusculum pitching. There's 2 outs here in the sixth. And Sydney Lee will come to the plate. Lee has singled in a run, walked and scored, and grounded out twice. First pitch is a called strike. Reynolds up to 130 pitches. This is the 10th at bat of the game by Lee with the bases loaded. And that's taken low for a ball. Actually, it doesn't even include the bases loaded walks. This is the 11th batter that's batted in this game with the bases loaded for Lee. They're 3 for 9 with a walk. Two balls and one strike the count to Lee. Fouled away, right side. Smeltzer will give it chase, but it'll be out of play. Two balls, two strikes to count to Lee. Reynolds' pitch. Hit towards short. Hodges, nice play. Flipped to Hughes for the out. Great play there by the middle infield. Hodges with the catch and scoop to Hughes for the third out of the inning. Lee gets a run on 2 hits, and they leave the bases loaded. They've left 11. We head to the bottom of the 6th inning, and it is Lee 12, Tusculum 7 on the Pioneer Sports Network. We head to the bottom of the 6th inning. Tusculum trailing Lee 12-7 here in Game 1 of this doubleheader. It'll be Hughes, Suits, and Hodges to face Madison Barnett, who's thrown just 84 pitches through 5 innings. She's retired 5 in a row. Tusculum has had their big innings in the even-numbered innings, 3 in the second, 4 in the fourth. And this one's lined into right field, drops in front of Smith for a base hit. So the every other inning success off to a good start here. And Alyssa Suits comes to the plate. Suits has singled twice, knocked in a run, scored 2. Tusculum now with 8 hits in the game. First pitch from Barnett is a called strike. Barnett with the 0-1. High, a ball and strike. One and one the count. Pitch popped up in the infield and unable to be played again that time by Goodrich. And that'll be another error on the catch, both times with Suits at the plate. Fourth error of the game for Lee. One ball and 2 strikes to count. The pitch. Off the plate. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two is low, 3-2. Three and two, the count to Suits. Three-two pitch is launched foul. Still 3-2. Nia Vogel, who is the #1 pitcher for Lee, is warming up in the bullpen. Vogel has not pitched in relief this season. The 3-2 pitch is a called strike 3. Fifth strikeout for Barnett, one down here in the 6th. And Caitlin Hodges comes to the plate. Hodges is 2 for 2. She has doubled and singled, knocked in 3. Fouled away, 1 strike. Hodges now up to 276 for the season. The 0-1 pitch. Taken for a ball, 1-1. One ball, 1 strike. The pitch. Hit towards third, and it's caught on a short hop. No, it's a line drive, double play. Line drive, double play as Patton made the catch right off the dirt and throws across to double off Hughes. No runs in the inning, a hit, an error, and nobody left. We go to the 7th. Lee 12, Tusculum 7 on the Pioneer Sports Network. We go to the top of the 7th inning. Tusculum trailing Lee by a score of 12-7. And we have a pinch hitter leading off the top of the 7th inning. It'll be Janina Remley.
Pinch hitting for the Flames. innings. Number 24, Janina Rimley.
Remley batting for Goodridge here in the top of the 7th inning. Remley at the plate this season, a 214 average, 4 home runs, 18 runs batted in. She has started 25 games. As she is the regular catcher, the number 1 catcher, if you will, for Lee. Speaking of catchers, Tusculum with a substitution as well as Kaylee Higgins in behind the plate for Chloe Freischman here in the 7th. Reynolds' 1-0 pitch is low, 2 balls and no strikes. Reynolds started the inning at 134 pitches. And Tusculum coach Julie Hubner coming out to the circle. Two balls and no strikes to count. So Coach Hubner out there having a discussion with Reynolds and Higgins while the infielders have their own discussion. Obviously, some relaxed players out there as the infield shares a laugh as they return to action. 2-0 the count to Remley. Remley, a senior out of San Diego, California. 2-0 pitch. Called strike, 2-1. Two and one the count. The pitch. Called strike, 2-2. Two and two. The pitch. Change up. Called strike, 3. Second strikeout for Reynolds. One out here in the second.
Number 17, Alexis Scalzo.
And Alexis Scalzo will come to the plate. Scalzo has singled, walked, doubled, and grounded out. She has scored 2 runs. Reynolds, their 140th pitch of the game in their first strike. Reynolds, 140 pitches, 80 of them strikes, 60 of them balls. She has struck out 2 and walked 5. The 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss, nothing in 2. But remarkably, Reynolds is not on the hook for the loss. If you recall, in the 3rd inning, Michaela Bush came in a 3-3 tie and walked 3 batters. So all 3 of them scored. And those are the runners of decision. So Bush, who didn't retire anybody, could get the loss here. The 0-2 is outside 1-2. But Tusculum still has the last at bats in the 7th inning. One and two the count. The pitch. Low, 2-2. Two and two the count to Scalzo. The pitch. Inside, 3-2. Three and two the count to Scalzo. The pitch. popped up, shallow center, and Hodges makes the catch for the second out. 2 up and 2 down here in the 7th. And Lainey Harris will come to the plate.
Second baseman number 18, Lainey Harris.
Harris is flying to right, singled in a run, been hit by a pitch and grounded out, and she has also scored a run. First pitch is beaten foul at the plate, 1 strike. Elsewhere in the South Atlantic Conference, Carson Newman leads Coker 9-2 in the 4th inning in Game 2 of their doubleheader. Newberry leads Claflin 5-0 in the 3rd inning in Game 2 of their doubleheader. The 0-1 pitch, up and away, 1 ball and 1 strike. And Queens and Anderson, they are 2-2 in the 5th in Game 2 of their doubleheader. UVA-Y's doubleheader against Emory and Henry was canceled. 1-1 the count to Harris. The pitch is launched to left field. Newport towards the line, and she will make the catch as the wind helped out with that one as well. 1-2-3 7th inning for Keelan Reynolds. And a gutty 7-inning effort there by Reynolds as she approached 150 pitches in the ball game. 12-7 lead. We go to the bottom of the 7th on the Pioneer Sports Network. Go to the bottom of the 7th inning, leading Tusculum by a score of 12-7. Sydney Lee, who is the DP, now goes to catch here as we go to the bottom of the 7th inning. Last chance for the Pioneers. It'll be Madison McGinnis leading off the bottom half of the 7th inning. McGinnis batted with the bases loaded in the 4th and drew a walk. And at that time brought Tusculum within 11-7. That wound up being the last, or made it 11-6 game. Check that. The 0-1 pitch is hit foul towards third. No balls and 2 strikes to count to McGinnis. McGinnis, Newport, Lazo due up for the Pioneers here in the 7th. Again, this is Game 1 of our doubleheader. Game 2 will be coming up about 30 minutes after the conclusion of this one. The 0-2 pitch. Called strike 3. Fly to left, grounded to short, and hit a sacrifice fly. Pitches outside for a ball, 1-0. As Barnett will be up to her 100th pitch. Reynolds threw 148 pitches for the Pioneers. The 1-0 is beaten to third. Patton on the big hop throws across for the second out. 2 outs here in the 7th, and the last chance for the Pioneers is Haley Lazo. Lazo is 0 for 3. She has flied to right twice and lined out to left. Now batting .286. Barnett's pitch, called strike. No balls and 1 strike the count. The pitch, high 1-1. The count to Lazo. This one's hit to short. Scalzo in time, and that will do it. Game 1 is over, and Lee wins it by a score of 12-7. Final totals for Lee: 12 runs, 13 hits, 4 errors. They left 11. Tusculum 7 runs, 8 hits, 3 errors. They left 2. The winning pitcher is Madison Barnett. She's 9-9. The losing pitcher, Michaela Bush, 0-1. Time of the game was 2 hours and 17 minutes. So Lee gets the victory in Game 1 by a score of 12-7. They got 3 in the first, 3 in the third, 5 in the fourth. Tusculum with 3 in the second and 4 in the fourth. It wasn't enough as Lee gets the victory by the score of 12-7. Game 2 of our doubleheader will start approximately 5:40. Good afternoon and welcome to Red Emmons Field on the campus of Tusculum University in Greenville, Tennessee for softball action this afternoon. It's Game 2 of our doubleheader as the Pioneers host the Lee University Flames. I'm Jim Miller. We're getting set for our second game of the day. Lee winning the opener by a score of 12-7 in a slugfest that had a lot of walks, a couple errors, some unearned runs, and then settled down in the late innings as Lee got the victory by that score of 12-7. Tusculum will be sending their ace, Emily Sappington, to the circle in game number 2. And she'll be opposed by Lee's ace, Nia Vogel. So it should be a good matchup here in game number 2 of this twin bill. The starting lineups have been turned in, and we'll give you those starters here in just a moment as we take a look at the teams. Lee with that victory in game 1, now 24-17. Tusculum 23-19 with the loss in game number 1. The lineups for game 2. For Lee, they will lead off with Brianna Patton at third base. Anamaka at left field bats second. Taylor DeAtter at first base hits third. Javaria Smith in right field bats fourth. Sydney Lee will catch game 2 and bat fifth. Janina Remley will be the DP and bat sixth. Alexis Scalzo at shortstop hits 7th. Lainey Harris at second base hits 8th. And Shelby Cole in center field batting 9th with Vogel pitching. For Tusculum, a little different lineup in Game 2. Anna Alloway will lead off as a designated player. Callan Newport in left field bats second. Haley Lazo at first base hits third. Chloe Freischmidt will catch and bat fourth. Emily Sappington will pitch and hit fifth. Claire Smeltzer in right field bats sixth. Hannah Hughes, the second baseman, bats seventh. Alyssa Suits at third base hits eighth. And Caitlin Hodges, shortstop, bats ninth. In the flex will be the center fielder, Madison McGinnis. Sappington getting ready to go here as she will take the circle. The lefty, the Pioneers' #1 pitcher. 10-10 record, a 2.03 earned run average. This is her 21st start, 25th appearance. She's thrown 19 complete games in those 20 starts. 137 and 2/3 innings, 120 hits, 40 earned runs, 51 walks, 148 strikeouts. Sappington's 4th in the Southland Conference in ERA and 4th in strikeouts with those 148. And opponents are hitting .228 against Sappington, the junior out of Ashburn, Virginia, last year's Southland Conference Tournament Most Valuable Player. So Sappington will get the start here in Game 2. So both teams using a lefty pitcher in this doubleheader. Sappington finishes her warm-up tosses. Sappington's last start was on Friday against Queens. She pitched 7 shutout innings, gave up a run in the 8th and then 3 in the 9th, and lost that one by a score of 4-3. Tough luck loss for Sappington, who has lost her last 2 starts. Her last victory coming against Limestone on April 2nd when she threw a 6-hitter over 7 innings for a 4-1 victory. First pitch of game 2 is taken for a strike. And that first pitch was thrown at 5:52. So 37 minutes between games. Next pitch is looped down the left field line. It's a foul ball. 0-2 the count to Brianna Patton. Patton, the junior out of Jasper, Tennessee. In game 1 of the doubleheader, she was 3 for 5 with 2 runs scored and a run batted in, hitting .394. 0-2 pitch, swing and a miss. Down on 3 pitches is Patton, 1 down here in the first.
The left fielder, number 3, Anamaka.
And Anamaka, the left fielder, will come to the plate. Maka, the freshman out of Zionsville, Indiana. In game 1, she was 2 for 5 with a run scored. Maka hit .372 for the season. And that pitch is a called strike. One strike the count to Maka. The 1 pitch, fouled away, 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes the count to Maka. Sappington with the wind in the 0-2. Beaten, foul at the plate. It was chopped right in the batter's box. Maka wisely taking off for first base, not knowing, nobody knew where it was going to land, but it landed in the batter's box as a foul ball. Still no balls and 2 strikes to Maka. Sappington 0-2 pitch is check swing, take it for a ball. Arnez Cantrell calling balls and strikes here in game 2 with Bobby Gosnell working the bases. 1-2 the count to Maka. The 1-2 delivery. Taken. Did she go? Yes, she did. She's out on strikes. 2 strikeouts for Maka, or 2 strikeouts for Sappington, Patton, and Maka. And that's 2 down here in the first.
11,
Taylor Deatter, the first baseman, will come to the plate. In game 1, Deatter was 2 for 3 with 2 walks, 4 RBIs, and a run scored. The senior out of Maple Ridge, British Columbia, takes that one for a ball. Deatter hitting .377, 8 home runs, 40 runs batted in. Sappington with the 1-0 pitch. Low, 2 balls and no strikes. Two and 0 the count to Deatter. That's called strike, 2-1. First pitch temperature right around 53 degrees, the wind blowing out to right. 2-1 pitch is fouled away. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Temperature will be dropping later on. It will stay relatively steady through this game. Once the sun goes down, it'll be dropping into the 30s tonight. 2-2 the count to Deatter. Sappington's pitch is hit foul past third. Still 2 balls and 2 strikes to Taylor Deatter. Two and two the count. Sappington's pitch off the plate, 3-2. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Sappington's 3-2. Outside, ball 4. Deatter walks for the 33rd time this season, after walking twice in game 1. And Javarius Smith will bat with 2 outs. Smith in game 1 was 1 for 5. Now hitting .372, a home run, and 26 runs batted in. And called strike. Deatter will attempt to steal. She's stolen 12 bases this season in 14 attempts. Runner goes, pitches a ball. The throw is in time for the out. Freischmidt to Hodges, 2-6 on the caught stealing, and the inning is over. No runs, no hits, and nobody left after a half inning. It's Lee 0, Tusculum coming to bat on the Pioneer Sports Network. Bottom of the first inning, and Tusculum will bat for the first time against Lee starter Nia Vogel. Vogel making her 25th start of the season, 14-7 record, a 2.98 earned run average. She has thrown 16 complete games, 4 shutouts, 141 innings, 139 hits, 60 earned runs, 33 walks, 79 strikeouts. Opponents hitting .252 against Vogel, the sophomore out of Apopka, Florida, by way of USC Upstate. And the first pitch to Alloway is taken for a called strike. Alloway batting leadoff here in game 2 after batting in the 6th position in game 1, where she was 1 for 2 with 2 runs scored. Off speed pitch high, 1 ball, 1 strike. Alloway hitting .358, 4 home runs, 30 runs batted in. The grad student out of Louisville, Tennessee, Maryville High School. The 1-1 pitch. That one's hit to left field. Tracking it and making the catch is the left fielder Maka for the first out. 1 down here in the first.
The left fielder number 6, Callan Newport.
And Callan Newport will come to the plate. Newport in game number 1 was 0 for 3. She did have a sacrifice fly run batted in. Newport hitting .309 with no home runs and 11 runs batted in. The junior out of Seymour, Tennessee. And the first pitch from Vogel's low and in for a ball, 1-0. One ball and no strikes to count to Newport. This one is popped up off of first and out of play. One ball, one strike to count to Newport. One pitch is high, 2 balls and 1 strike. Two and 1 the count to Newport. Low and in for a ball, 3-1. Three and 1 the count to Newport. Vogel with the pitch. Low ball 4. Newport draws the walk.
First baseman number 30, Haley Lazo.
11th time that she has walked this season. Haley Lazo will bat. Lazo is 0 for 4 in game 1. She is hitting .283, a home run, and 18 runs batted in for the junior out of Port Orange, Florida. Newport on at first base has 12 stolen bases this season, and this one is hit the left center field, giving chases Cole, and she makes the catch on the run. Backtracking to first is Newport. Nice catch out there in left center field by Shelby Cole for the second out. She caught that one on the run right before the fence.
The catcher number 14,
Chloe Freischmidt, the catcher, will come to the plate with 2 outs. Freischmidt was 0 for 3 in game 1. She is hitting .292 with 2 home runs and 26 runs batted in for the senior out of Naples, Florida. Newport still on at first with 2 outs. She goes. The pitch is a ball. The throw is in time, and out at second base is Newport. Second time she's been caught stealing this season. 2-6 on the caught stealing, and both teams have a runner thrown out stealing to end the first inning. We go to the second. No score between Tusculum and Lee on the Pioneer Sports Network. We head to the top of the second inning. No score between Tusculum and Lee. And Javarius Smith, who was batting when Deanna was thrown out attempting to steal,
right fielder number 23,
she will
Javarius Smith.
start a new at bat here against Sappington. Sappington with 2 strikeouts and a walk in that first inning. And the first pitch is taken for a strike. Smith, Lee, and Remley for the Flames here in the second. A 1 pitch, high, a ball and a strike. Carson Newman beat Coker 11-2 in game 2 of their doubleheader. That was a 5-inning game. So Carson Newman goes to 11-9 in the conference. 1-1 pitch. Popped up off third. Suits. Makes the catch for the out. One down here in the second. And Sidney Lee will come to the plate. Lee, the freshman out of Dadeville, Alabama, was a designated player in game number 1. And she was 1 for 4 at the plate with an RBI and a run scored. First pitch is called strike. And the next pitch is away for a ball, 1-1. The 1-1 pitch. Hit in the hole, it's a base hit. Lee with a single, first hit of the game for the Flames.
The DP, number 24.
And with one out, it'll bring up the designated player, Janina Remley. Remley batted in game number 1. She pinch hit in the 7th inning and was called out on strikes. Remley hitting .211, 4 home runs, 18 runs batted in. Takes a called strike. Remley, senior out of San Diego. And a called strike 2. Nothing in 2 the count to Remley. Sappington's pitch is outside 1-2. Anderson beat Queens 7-4 in game 2 of their doubleheader. So Anderson in first place in the conference at 19-3. And they need 1 win in their final doubleheader against Carson Newman on Thursday, as this is swung on a miss for strike 3. Third strikeout for Sappington, 2 outs in the second. And Alexis Scalzo, the shortstop, will come to the plate.
Shortstop, number 17, Alexis Scalzo.
Scalzo in game 1, 2 for 4 with a single, a double, and 2 runs scored. Scalzo, the freshman out of Winter Garden, Florida, hitting .297, a home run, and 16 runs batted in. Takes a pitch for a called strike. One strike to count to Scalzo. The 0-1 pitch. Shows the bat and takes the ball, 1-1. So Anderson, 19-3 in the conference. Lenore 16-4. Up the middle, Sappington will throw on to first, and the inning is over. No runs, a hit, and 1 left. Middle of the second, it is Tusculum and Lee scoreless on the Pioneer Sports Network. We go to the bottom of the second inning. No score between Lee and Tusculum. And Chloe Freischmidt will lead off for the Pioneers. Freischmidt was batting when Callan Newport was thrown out stealing to end the first inning. So she'll have another crack here against Vogel.
14, Chloe Freischmidt.
Vogel with the windup and the first pitch. Up and away, 1 ball and no strikes. One to 0 the count to Freischmidt. She'll be followed by Sappington and Smeltzer here in the second. The windup and the 1-0 pitch. Inside, 2 balls and no strikes. Balls and no strikes to count to Freischmidt. The pitch. Hit foul, giving chase and making the catch in foul territory is Patton for the out.
The pitcher, number 8, Emily Sappington.
And Emily Sappington will come to the plate. Sappington, who bats for herself in doubleheaders when she pitches, hitting .341, a home run, 7 runs taken. First pitch is taken for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes to count to Sappington. The windup and the 1-0. Beaten foul at the plate, 1-1. One ball, 1 strike to count to Emily Sappington, the junior out of Ashburn, Virginia. Vogel with the windup and the 1-1. Change up the middle, off of Vogel, and it'll carry him into right field. Sappington will have a base hit. So Sappington just took it right back up the middle, off of Vogel, and he ricochets into short right field for a base hit. And Claire Smeltzer will come to the plate. Smeltzer has started both games of the doubleheader in right field. Smeltzer was 1 for 3 in game 1 with a run scored. She's now batting .273 with no home runs, 8 runs batted in. First pitch is taken for a strike. Sappington has not attempted a stolen base this season. Would you say never in her career? Well, Lazo had never attempted a stolen base and got one. A swing and a miss, nothing in 2. Of course, that was under unusual circumstances. You know, Sappington has 0 stolen bases in her career. Yes. No balls and 2 strikes. The count. The 0-2 pitch. That goes off of the foot of Smeltzer. It's a foul ball. No balls and 2 strikes. The count to Smeltzer. Wind up in the 0-2 pitch. Low and away, 1-2. The 1-2 pitch. Fouled away. One ball and 2 strikes to count to Claire Smeltzer. The pitch in the dirt. 2-2. Line up the 2-2 pitch. Popped up, and it's caught by the catcher, Lee. The Flames had a little difficulty at times on those plays in the first game, but Lee makes the catch for the second out. Hannah Hughes will come to the plate. Hughes, the Pioneers' second baseman, was 1 for 3 in game 1 with a run scored. She's hitting .263 for the season, 2 home runs, 12 runs batted in. And the first pitch to her is hit to third. Patton's got it. Throw across in time for the out. Tusculum gets a hit in the second, and that's it. We go to the third. No score between Tusculum and Lee on the Pioneer Sports Network. Top of the third inning, no score between Tusculum and Lee here in game 2 of this doubleheader. It'll be Lainey Harris, the second baseman, leading off the third. Both teams with 1 hit so far. Harris in game number 1 was 1 for 4 with an RBI and a run scored. First pitch from Sappington is swung on and missed, strike 1. Harris hitting .267. No home runs, 15 runs batted in. Next pitch from Sappington's high for a ball. Wind up the 1-1 pitch. Low and away, 2 balls and 1 strike. Two and 1 the count to Harris. She'll be followed by Cole and Patton here in the third. Swing and a miss. 2-2. Two balls and 2 strikes. Fouled away. Still 2-2. Sappington's 2-2 pitch. Beaten foul. Bullpen activity for Tusculum as Ireland Cavanaugh is warming up. Sure, we'll see her pitching in a tandem here with Sappington in this one. High, 3-2. Don't know what the plan is, if maybe cut the game into 2-3 inning outings and then see what happens, or 4 innings. We'll see. But imagine that both will get some work here in this second game. 3-2 the count, the pitch. Sky to center field. McGinnis has it lined up. A couple steps to her left and makes the catch for the out. One down here in the third.
Center fielder number 1, Shelby Cole.
And Shelby Cole, the center fielder, would come to the plate. Cole had a big game one. She grounded out, walked twice, hit a 3-run triple, knocked in 4, scored 2. Now hitting 179 for the season with no home runs, 7 runs batted in. First pitch, called strike. One strike, the count to Cole. Next pitch is off the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike. One and 1 the count. Called strike. 1 ball and 2 strikes. One and 2 the count to Cole. Sappington's pitch. Swing and a miss. Fourth strikeout for Sappington. 2 outs here in the third.
Third baseman number 4, Brianna Patton.
And Brianna Patton will step in. Patton struck out to lead off the ball game. First pitch, fouled away. One strike the count to Patton. Pitch. Bunted in front of the plate. Suits is not going to have a play. It'll be a bunt single for Patton. Second hit for the Flames. And Patton's a 2-out base runner at first.
The left fielder number 3, Anna Maka.
Patton has 6 stolen bases this season. And Sappington's first pitch is taken for a strike. The 0-1 pitch. Taken low for a ball, 1-1. One pitch. Low and in, 2-1. The 2-1 is hit down the left field line, but it's a foul ball. Two and 2 the count to Maka. The 2-2 from Sappington. Beaten to second. Hughes will throw onto first. She could have just tagged the runner. Or did she? She claims that she did, and they've got the out. Bob, in the third inning, Tusculum and Lee scoreless here in game number 2. It'll be Alyssa Suits leading off for the Pioneers here in the last of the third. Suits was 2 for 3 in game 1. 2 singles, 2 runs scored, and an RBI. Suits average now up to 240. A home run, 7 runs batted in for the freshman out of Jonesboro, Tennessee. Time is called before the first pitch to Suits. She'll be followed by Hodges and Alloway here in the third. First pitch. Inside for a ball, 1-0. One-zero pitch. Swing and a miss and a high fastball. One pitch. High, 2 balls and 1 strike. Two-one pitch. Inside corner, 2-2. Two and two the count to Alyssa Suits. The pitch. Low, 3-2. Three balls, 2 strikes to Alyssa Suits. The pitch. Popped up, foul out of play. 3-2 the count to Suits. Vogel steps into the 3-2. It's change up high, ball 4. And Suits is a leadoff base runner. Second walk by Vogel.
Shortstop number 2, Caitlin Hodges.
And Caitlin Hodges will come to the plate. Hodges in game 1, 2 for 3 with 3 runs batted in, including a double. Hodges hitting .273, no home runs, 19 runs batted in. Shows bunt, but pops it up instead, and Patton will make the catch for the first out. So with 1 down, it'll bring up Anna Alloway. Alloway flied to left her first time up.
The DP 00, Anna Alloway.
Alloway with 12 doubles and a triple in addition to her 4 home runs. The runner goes. The pitch is a strike, and the throw is late. It's a stolen base for Suits, her 6th of the season. So Suits now in scoring position. Vogel's pitch is high, a ball and a strike. One ball and 1 strike the count to Anna Alloway. Vogel's pitch. Beaten towards short. Scalzo has it. The runner's hung up between second and third. She'll chase her over to third base and makes the tag for the out. So a fielder's choice. Suits is out at third, 6-5. And Alloway's on at first base after the fielder's choice.
The left fielder number 6, Alan Newport.
Suits got hung up in no man's land, and for Scalzo, probably the smart play there. I don't know that she would have necessarily had to play it on Alloway at first base and take the out right in front of you, which she did. So 2 outs in the inning for Callan Newport, who walked her first time up and then was caught stealing to end the first inning. Vogel's first pitch is popped foul, out of play, 1 strike. Teams combined for 9 runs in the first 3 innings of our first game, and still looking for our first run here in game 2 as Newport swings and misses. No balls and 2 strikes. 0-2 the count to Newport. Vogel's pitch, high, 1-2. Alloway on at first base has 2 career stolen bases in 193 games. The 1-2 pitch. Beaten to third, Patton throws across the diamond in time for the out, and that'll do it for the 3rd inning. No runs in the inning, no hits, 1 left. After 3, no score between Tusculum and Lee on the Pioneer Sports Network.
Number 11.
Top of the 4th inning. No score here between Tusculum and Lee. Lee out hitting Tusculum 2-1. It'll be DeAdder, Smith, and Lee facing Sappington here in the 4th. First pitch is a called strike. Sappington, 48 pitches to get through 3 innings. She has 4 strikeouts and a walk and allowed 2 hits. DeAdder walked her first time up and was caught stealing. The 0-1 pitch. Hit in the hole, base hit to left field. So DeAdder, ground single to left. 3rd hit of the game for the Flames. And she is leadoff base runner here in the 4th.
The right fielder number 23, Javaria Smith.
And Javaria Smith will come to the plate. Smith fouled out her first time up to 3rd base. First pitch, there's the bunt. Suits, throws to Hughes for the out. 5-4 on the sacrifice. DeAdder moves to 2nd.
The catcher, number 5, Sydney Lee.
And Sydney Lee, the catcher, will come to the plate. Lee singled her first time up. Lee now batting .387. First pitch is lofted to left field. Newport going back, and she makes the catch for the 2nd out. Throw comes in. And with
number 24.
2 outs, the batter is Janina Remley, the designated player. She struck out her first time up. First pitch from Sappington is off the plate for a ball, 1-0.
Okay, that's good.
The 1-0 pitch. A high, 2 balls and no strikes.
Apparently, there was a guy in a car who was sleeping and didn't even wake up.
2-0 the count to Remley. DeAdder, the runner at second. Swing and a miss. 2 balls and 1 strike the count to Janina Remley. Swing and a miss. She offered at that one. 2-2 the count to Remley. Sappington's pitch fouled back to the screen. Two and two the count. Remley's pitch to Remley is fouled away. Sappington will try and get through this 4th inning at just right around 60 pitches. 2-2 the count. Sappington's pitch just off the plate, 3-2. Three balls, 2 strikes the count to Janina Remley. Sappington winds the pitch. Popped up, playable in right field for Smelter. She'll drift in and make the catch. And the inning is over. Leadoff single by DeAdder is not any harm to Sappington. She gets through 4. No score. Halfway home in Game 2 between the Pioneers and the Flames on the Pioneer Sports Network. We head to the bottom of the 4th inning. No score between Tusculum and Lee. Flames out hitting the Pioneers 3-1. Nia Vogel has thrown 39 pitches through 3 innings. She is allowed to hit in 2 walks. No strikeouts yet. But she has only 79 strikeouts in 144 innings. Not a strikeout pitcher is Vogel. It'll be Lazo, Freischman, and Sappington, the heart of the lineup for the Pioneers here in the 4th. Lazo flying to center her first time up. More of a line drive that was caught by the center fielder Cole on her way to the fence. Lazo looking for her first hit of the doubleheader. Swings and misses. 1 ball, 1 strike the count to Lazo. Vogel with the windup and the 1-1 pitch. Change up, high, 2-1. Seen Vogel throw a few of those off-speed pitches, and they haven't been close. 2-1 pitch. Low and in, 3-1. 3 balls, 1 strike, the count to Lazo. Three-one delivery. Beaten foul past Tusculum coach Julie Hubner. 3-2 the count. Three and two the count to Lazo, leading off the 4th. Lofted foul down the left side. Still 3-2 to Haley Lazo. High, ball 4 as she lays off.
The catcher, number 14, Chloe Freshman.
Third walk issued by Vogel. And Chloe Freischmidt comes to the plate. Freischmidt fouled out to third her first time up. See if she's bunting here. She is, and she gets it down. Fielded by Vogel. Throw on to Harris covering first for the out. 1-4 on the sacrifice. Lazo takes second. And Emily Sappington will come to the plate.
The pitcher, number 8, Emily Sappington.
Sappington singled off of Vogel her first time up. Now hitting .356. And the first pitch to Sappington is taken for a ball. Oh, it's called strike, sorry. The 0-1 pitch, fouled away, 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes. The pitch, called strike 3. And Sappington's down looking for the second out. First strikeout for Vogel.
Right fielder, number 20, Claire Smeltzer.
2 down for Claire Smeltzer. Smeltzer fouled out to the catcher Lee her first time up. First pitch to Smeltzer is taken low and away for a ball, 1-0. .1-0 pitch. Lined is short and caught by the shortstop Scalzo before the runner Lazo could cross in front of her. No runs, no hits, and 1 left. We go to the 5th. No score between Tusculum and Lee on the Pioneer Sports Network. We go to the top of the fifth inning. New pitcher for the Pioneers is Ireland Cavanaugh. Cavanaugh will step in for Sappington, who went 4 innings,
Shortstop.
allowed 3
17,
hits.
Alexis Calzo.
Cavanaugh making her 20th appearance. She's started 16 games. This will be her 4th relief appearance. 10-5 record, a 3.63 ERA. 90 and 2/3 innings, 88 hits, 47 earned runs, 23 walks, 61 strikeouts. Opponents hitting 246 against Cavanaugh. The sophomore out of Columbus, Georgia, and the first pitch to Alexis Scalzo is taken for a strike. Sappington went 4 innings, allowed 3 hits, no runs, a walk, and 4 strikeouts, and threw 60 pitches, 41 strikes, 19 balls. Next pitch from Cavanaugh is swung on and missed. 0-2 to Scalzo, who grounded back to the circle her first time up. Cavanaugh's last relief appearance was back at the beginning of the season. In fact, her first 3 appearances of the year were out of the bullpen. Her last relief appearance was February 12th against Chowan in a 9-3 victory. She pitched 5 2/3 innings of relief, gave up no runs on 2 hits with 3 strikeouts. In her 3 relief appearances, Cavanaugh has a win and a save. And that one is dribbled foul. So Cavanaugh has been very effective as a starter lately. Her last 2 starts last week, 13 innings combined against Carson Newman and Queens. She got 2 wins. Low and in, 1 and 2. 2 complete game victories, 13 innings, 5 hits. The run was unearned. She had a walk and 6 strikeouts. The 1-2 is beaten to short and past Hodges into left field for a base hit. As Newport hits the deck as she throws it into second base. Her feet gave out from underneath her as she went to throw it. So Scalzo's a leadoff base runner here in the 5th.
18, Lainey Harris.
Lainey Harris will bat in a obvious sacrifice situation. She flied to center her first time up. Taken low for a ball. Lee now out hitting Tusculum 4-1. Scalzo, the runner at first base, has 10 stolen bases without being caught. 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss, 1-1. Harris has 1 sacrifice this season. The 1-1 pitch, bunt, and the runner's going, and it's a fair ball. Freischmidt throws on to Hughes covering for the out. 2-4 on the sacrifice. And Scalzo takes second. And that'll bring Shelby Cole to the plate. Cole struck out swinging her first time up, one of Sappington's 4 strikeout victims.
Yeah, but she should be fine.
The first pitch from Cavanaugh is called strike. Cavanaugh at home this season, 8-2 with a 1.36 earned run average. On the road, 1-3 with a 10.50 ERA. She loves pitching here at Red Edmonds Field. 1-1 pitch. Called strike, 1-2. One ball and 2 strikes the count. Cavanaugh's pitch outside, 2-2. 2-2 the count to Cole. Wind up and the pitch. Swing and a miss. Down on strikes goes Cole for the second time. First strikeout for Kavanaugh. 1 out, 2 outs here in the fifth.
Third baseman number 4, Brianna Patton.
And Brianna Patton will step in. Patton has struck out and singled. And the first pitch taken low for a ball. Suits is crept way in on the third baseline. You can see she's anticipating a possible bunt. 1-0 pitch. Line foul. Pass Suits. There's reaction time right there. Ball's flying right at you, but it was foul. 1 ball, 1 strike. Patton hitting .396. Hitting .444 with runners in scoring position this season. 1-1 pitch. Lofted foul. Left side, it'll be out of play. 1-2 the count to Patton. One and two the count. Kavanaugh's pitch. Change up, popped into shallow left field, but right there is Newport to make the catch for the out. Leadoff single, and nothing more for the Flames in the fifth. We go to the bottom of the fifth. It's scoreless between Tusculum and Lee on the Pioneer Sports Network. Bottom of the fifth inning, no score between Tusculum and Lee. After Lee won the opener 12-7. Nia Vogel, 4 innings, a hit, 3 walks, and a strikeout, 52 pitches so far. She'll face Hannah Hughes to lead off the bottom of the fifth. Hughes grounded out her first time up. First pitch is fouled back to the screen, 1 strike. Or fouled off the catcher. Lee never made it to the backstop. 1 strike to Hughes. She'll be followed by Suits and Hodges. The 0-1 pitch. High, 1 ball, 1 strike. Tusculum's only hit was a single by Sappington literally off of the pitcher Vogel in the second inning. The 1-1 pitch. Up and in, 2-1. This has the feel of one of those games where 1 run could be the difference. We'll start to see both teams playing very with an eye towards trying to get 1 run like we did in the 4th inning and again in the 5th. In fact, the last 3 half innings, the leadoff batter has gotten on and then has been sacrificed to second and has been stranded there. 3-1 to Hughes is hit to short. Scalzo across the diamond in time for the out. 1 down in the 5th.
Third baseman number 21, Alyssa Suits.
And Alyssa Suits will come to the plate. Suits walked and stole a base her first time up. Those Suits in here to face Vogel. Called strike off the glove of the catcher. One strike to count to Suits. Called strike two. Oh, and 2 the count to Suits. The pitch. Swing and a foul. Back to the screen. Well, still 0-2. Nothing and 2 the count to Suits. Inside 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes to count to Alyssa Suits. Vogel's pitch. Lofted to left field. Lined up to make the catch is Maka for the second out. 2 up and 2 down here in the 5th.
Shortstop number 2, Caitlin Hodges.
And Caitlin Hodges will bat with 2 outs. Hodges popped up to third. Her first time up. As she kind of pulled the bat back on a showed bunt, pulled the bat back and took a swing and popped it up. First pitch to Hodges is inside for a ball, 1-0. Hodges now hitting .270 for the season. .1-0 pitch. High, 2 balls and no strikes. Anna Alloway waits on deck. In the final home game of her career. 2-0 is beaten foul, 2-1. Two balls and 1 strike to count to Caitlin Hodges. High, 3-1. Three balls, 1 strike. The pitch. Line foul, 3-2. 3-2 the count to Hodges with 2 outs here in the 5th. Vogel. Winds 3-2. Fouled again. So Hodges battling here against Vogel. Count 3-2. Vogel has walked 3. And 3-2. Outside, ball 4. Hodges draws a 2-out walk. 4th walk of the game issued by Nia Vogel. And Anna Alloway comes to the plate. Alloway has flied to left and hit into a fielder's choice. She is 0 for 2. So here's Alloway, and the first pitch to her is popped up. Shallow left field. Maka makes the catch for the out. Alloway flies to left for the second time. 2-out walk, and that's all for the Pioneers in the 5th. They've left 4, as has Lee. And we go to the 6th. Still looking for a run between Tusculum and Lee on the Pioneer Sports Network. Top of the 6th inning. Still no score between Tusculum and Lee. Ireland Kavanaugh in her second inning in relief of Emily Sappington will face Anna Maka to lead off the top of the 6th. Maka has struck out and hit into a fielder's choice. Lee out hitting Tusculum 4-1 as she flares this one to left into foul territory and is caught by Newport for the first out. So Maka out on one pitch, one down here in the 6th. And Taylor Deatter will come to the plate. Deatter has walked and singled. She's reached base twice. Was caught stealing to end the first inning. Was stranded at second base in the 4th. First pitch from Kavanaugh is outside for a ball. Kavanaugh's next pitch, inside. Both teams have had 5 base runners in this game. Lee has had 4 hits and a walk. Tusculum has had 4 walks and a hit. 2-0 pitch is a called strike. Both teams had a runner caught stealing, and the other 4 runners have been left on base. 2-1 the count. Kavanaugh's pitch is taken low. Called strike, 2-2. Just caught the knees. Windows closed, we can say that. 2-2 pitch. Popped foul, and Lazo can't get there. Two balls and 2 strikes the count to Taylor Deatter. Kavanaugh with the windup, the 2-2. Called strike 3. Second strikeout for Kavanaugh. 2 down here in the 6th.
Number 23, Javarius Smith.
And Javarius Smith will come to the plate. Smith has fouled out to third and sacrificed. First pitch from Kavanaugh is called strike. 1 strike to Smith. Up the middle for a base hit. So a 2-out single for Smith.
The catcher, number 5, Sydney Lee.
And Lee now has a runner at first base with 2 outs for the catcher, Sydney Lee, who has singled and flied out. And the first pitch is a called strike. One strike to Lee. That's called strike, 0-2. Kavanaugh, who's allowed 2 hits so far in her inning and 2/3 of relief. Ahead in the count here, 0-2. The pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. Lee goes down swinging. Second strikeout of the inning, third of the game for Ireland Kavanaugh. And a 2-out single goes for nothing for Lee in the 6th. We go to the bottom of the 6th. No score between Tusculum and Lee on the Pioneer Sports Network. Bottom of the 6th inning, no score between Tusculum and Lee. And for the Pioneers, it'll be Callan Newport leading off here against Nia Vogel, who's thrown 70 pitches through 5 innings, allowed 1 hit. She has 1 strikeout and 4 walks. Newport has walked and grounded out. The first pitch is high, 1 ball and no strikes. Newport, Lazo, Freischmidt due up for the Pioneers here in the 6th. Just feel like 1 run could be the difference. The 1-0 pitch. Sky to left field. Maka calls off Scalzo and makes the catch for the out. 1 down here in the 6th. And Haley Lazo will come to the plate. Lazo has lined to center and walked.
First baseman, number 30, Haley Lazo.
Tusculum had a game on Friday against Queens that was scoreless after 7. That wound up being decided in 9. 1 strike to Lazo. Both teams got a run in the 8th. Queens got a 3-run triple in the top of the 9th. Tusculum got 2 back in the bottom of the 9th, but it wasn't enough. 1 strike the count to Lazo. And that one's in there for a strike, 0-2. Oh, and 2 the count to Haley Lazo. Vogel's pitch, pop foul. Everything else done involving Southland Conference softball today. Carson Newman swept Coker in a doubleheader, 6-5, 11-2. Anderson and Queens split a doubleheader. Queens winning 6-0 in the opener. Anderson 7-4 in Game 2. The pitch, swing and a foul at the plate. Newberry swept Claflin in a non-conference doubleheader, 13-5 and 10-0. Augusta at Catawba and Emory and Henry at UVA Wise both canceled. The 0-2 to Lazo. Fights that one off and fouls that one away. The point in the season where, in case of a team like Catawba, they're just trying to get to the end of the year here. Of course, UVA Wise, Emory, and Henry, that'll be a conference doubleheader next season. The 0-2 pitch, swing, and another foul at the plate. Tusculum baseball team wins today. And difficult fashion, but they got it done. 15-14 is the final. It's 15-7 going in the bottom of the ninth, and King scored 7 runs, but they needed 8. Vogel with the 0-2. Fought off again, foul. Lazo with a number of foul balls here is hung on this 0-2 count with 5 straight fouls. The line, the 0-2. Another foul. Lazo looks at the bench and says, hey. Still 0-2. And the pitch. High, 1-2. Lazo has worked this into what is going to be a 10-pitch at bat. Vogel's 1-2. In the hole, base hit to left field. Good at bat there by Lazo. Fighting off all those 2-strike pitches and then lines a single to left field. She's on for the second time. It should be a 1-out base runner for the catcher, Chloe Freischmidt. Freischmidt has fouled out and sacrificed. The pitch to Freischmidt is line foul for a strike. Ireland Kavanaugh is in the on-deck circle. She has batted once this season, but you can't hit for her now because if you do, you lose her for the rest of the game. And now we're going to have a runner at first base for Lazo. And it'll be Michaela Bush. So Bush will run at first base for Lazo. No balls in 1 strike, the count. In there for a strike, nothing in 2. Windup and the 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Freischmidt down swinging for the second out. Second strikeout by Vogel. And now Ireland Kavanaugh will bat. She's batted once this season. It was against Augusta. On February the 6th, she hit into a fielder's choice at shortstop, the only time she's batted this season. And it's taken inside for a ball. One ball and no strikes. Check swing, hit towards second. And Harris plays on to first for the out. So Kavanaugh is out, and that'll do it for Tusculum in the 6th. They get a hit, and they leave 1. We go to the 7th. No score between Tusculum and Lee on the Pioneer Sports Network. We go to the top of the 7th inning. No score between Tusculum and Lee. Lee out hitting Tusculum in this game 5-2. All of the hits in this game have been singles. Far cry from the first game, which was 12-7. Janina Remley, the designated player, will lead off for the Flames here in the 7th inning. She has struck out and flied out 0 for 2. Facing Ireland Cavanaugh, has allowed 2 hits in 30 pitches with 3 strikeouts and no walks. And that first pitch is taken outside for a ball, 1-0. Remley, Scalzo, Harris due up for the Flames here in the 7th. 1-0 pitch. That's in there for a strike, 1-1. One and one the count to Remley. That's wide. 2 balls and 1 strike. Cavanaugh with the 2-1. Pop foul out of play. 2-2. Two balls and 2 strikes to count to Janina Remley. The line in the 2-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. 4th strikeout for Cavanaugh. 1 down here in the 7th.
Shortstop number 17,
Alexis Scalzo will come to the plate. Scalzo has grounded out and singled. She is 1 for 2. Now batting at .301. Cavanaugh's first pitch. Swing and a miss. One strike the count to Scalzo. That one's off the plate, a ball and a strike. One and one the count. The pitch. Inside, 2 balls and 1 strike. The windup and the 2-1. Lofted down the right field line. Smeltzer into foul territory, makes the catch on the run. Nice catch out there by Claire Smeltzer in right field as she chased it down just over in the foul territory for the second out here in the 7th.
Number 18, Lainey Harris.
And Lainey Harris will bat with 2 outs. Harris has flied to center and sacrificed. Due up for the Pioneers in the bottom of the 7th will be Smeltzer, Hughes, and Suits. They will try and walk it off here in the bottom of the 7th. First things first, get the last out here at the top of the 7th. 1 ball and no strikes the count to Lainey Harris. (1-0). Pop foul out of play, 1-1. One ball, 1 strike the count to Lainey Harris. Pop foul out of play, 1-2. One ball and 2 strikes. The pitch hit up the middle into center field for a base hit. Past Hodges on the dive. Harris is a 2-out base runner and the 6th hit of the game for Lee. They've had exactly 1 hit each of the last 6 innings. They've had exactly 1 base runner in each of the first 7 innings. And with 2 outs, it'll be Shelby Cole to try and keep the line moving. She struck out her first 2 times at the plate, and she takes called strike. Kavanaugh with the 0-1 pitch. That one is a little bit high, 1-1. One 1 the count. Kavanaugh's pitch. Fouled away, 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes to Shelby Cole, the center fielder for the Flames. Kavanaugh with the 1-2 pitch. Popped up, shallow left field. Newport is underneath it, and she makes the catch. And that'll do it for the top of the 7th inning. And hit and 1 left. We go to the bottom of the 7th. Tusculum will try and walk it off. No score between the Pioneers and the Flames on the Pioneer Sports Network. We go to the bottom of the 7th inning. No score between Tusculum and Lee. Lee out hitting Tusculum 6-2. The Pioneers will try and walk it off here in the bottom of the 7th. And Nia Vogel will have a say-so in that. She's scattered 2 hits and 4 walks through 6 innings. 87 pitches so far for Vogel. Claire Smeltzer will lead it off for the Pioneers here in the bottom of the 7th. Smeltzer's fouled out and lined out. She is 0 for 2. Smeltzer, Hughes, and Suits for the Pioneers here in the 7th. Vogel's first pitch. High, 1 ball and no strikes. The windup and the 1-0. Bouncer to second. Harris knocks it down, and everybody's going to be safe. That'll be officially an error on the second baseman, Harris. And running at first base will be Kaylee Higgins. Higgins represents the ball game for the Pioneers. She'll run for Smeltzer. Hughes will bat. She's 0 for 2, and I certainly expect that she'll be bunting here in this spot. Higgins has not attempted a stolen base this season. Shows bunt, takes high for a ball. Now, against Queens on Friday, in this situation with a runner at second base, Hughes showed bunt, pulled the bat back, and executed a perfect chop that went up the middle and wound up being a double that tied the game at 1 in the bottom of the 8th. Inside, 2 balls and no strikes. But the only objective here is to get that runner at first base around the home plate. 2-0 the count to Hughes. Bunt popped foul out of play. 2 balls and 1 strike. The error by Harris, the first error of this game. Two and 1 the count to Hughes. Bunt, gets it down. Throw on to first in time by DeAdder to Harris. 3-4 on the sacrifice. And Higgins moves up to second base. And Alyssa Suits will bat with 1 out. Suits has walked and lined out and stolen a base. So Higgins at second base representing the ball game. Vogel with the windup in the first pitch. Inside for a ball, 1-0. One ball and no strikes the count to Alyssa Suits. Vogel with the 1-0. Line down the left field line, it's a foul ball. Out of play. 1-1. The sun will be a factor for the first baseman and second baseman. The first baseman will get the throws from the infield coming right at them through the sun. The 1-1 pitch. High, 2 balls and 1 strike. Vogel approaching 100 pitches. Here in this bottom of the 7th. 2-1 the count to Alyssa Suits. Vogel's pitch. Pop foul out to the backstop. 2-2. It hit the overhang backstop. Ricocheted back down behind the plate. 2-2 the count to Suits. Caitlin Hodges is on deck. Vogel with the wind, the 2-2. Pop foul, that's out of play. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Count holds to Alyssa Suits. Suits. The 2-2 up the middle off of Vogel. Caroms to Harris, and she'll get the out at first base. Boy, if that didn't hit her leg, that's probably into center field, and that's probably the ball game. But instead, it's a 1-4-3 for the second out. Higgins goes over to third base. And we'll have a discussion out here as they'll check and see if Vogel's all right. That one hit her harder than the ball that Sappington hit. It hit her in a difference. That one hit her more in the shin, it looked like. And just rolled right to Harris, who got the out at first base. So 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th, and Caitlin Hodges will bat. Hodges has popped up and walked. And the discussion is finishing up at the circle. Always have to watch for the wild pitch in this situation, too. Vogel has 6 wild pitches this season.
Shortstop number 2.
So here we go. Hodges batting with Higgins at third base. Two outs, bottom of the 7th, no score. First pitch to Hodges. Sky to left field. Maka towards the line. It's in foul territory, but it's the shortstop Scalzo instead who makes the catch. And the inning is over. An error, and that run is left at third base. And we go to the 8th inning. We'll have international tiebreaker time. No score between Lee and Tusculum on the Pioneer Sports Network. We head to the top of the 8th inning. No score between Lee and Tusculum. And Shelby Cole, who made the final out in the 7th inning, will start the inning at second base. And Brianna Patton, the third baseman, will lead off. Patton is 1 for 3. She has struck out, singled, and fly to left. And I expect that she will be bunting here. Kavanaugh's first pitch. There's the bunt, foul, 1 strike. One strike to Brianna Patton. Kavanaugh's thrown 3 innings of relief, struck out 4, allowed 3 hits. The pitch bunted. Suits on the run, throws to Hughes for the out. And Cole takes third. 5-4 on the sacrifice. 1 down here in the bottom of the or top of the 8th inning. And Anamaka, the left fielder, will come to the plate. She's 0 for 3. She's struck out, hit into a fielder's choice, and fouled out. Have to watch for the squeeze here in this spot. The first pitch to her is fouled away, 1 strike. One strike to count to Maka. Cole at third base. Infield looking for a potential squeeze bunt. Line foul, 0-2. Maka just trying to slap one somewhere. Maka is entering this doubleheader, or actually currently has 116 at-bats this year, has struck out 14 times. She's down the count, no balls and 2 strikes. Kavanaugh ready to go with the 0-2 pitch. Outside 1-2. 1-2 the count to Maka. One ball and 2 strikes. Kavanaugh's pitch. Hit to short. Hodges knocks it down. Nobody advances. That'll be an error on Hodges, but no advance, which is the most important thing. The runner's still at third base. And Taylor Deatter will come to the plate. Deatter is 1 for 2. She has walked, singled, and struck out. And now Coach Julie Hubner will bring the infield in to have a discussion here. So we'll have a circle conference. As the infield gets, the situation's unchanged, really. You still got a runner at third base with 1 out. I think the focus has to be on that runner at third. And just whatever the runner at first decides to do, just let her do it. And just go after the batter. The other question is, do you intentionally walk Deatter here? Deatter is the top hitter in terms of RBIs and success this season as far as being a steady hitter, especially in this doubleheader. So the question is, do you walk or pitch around Deatter and go after Smith? And then you're doing that with the bases loaded. So all those discussions being had. Meanwhile, runners are at first and third with 1 out, and they are going to intentionally walk Deatter. Runner goes, that's defensive indifference as a snap throw by Freischmidt. So Maka takes second on defensive indifference. And they intentionally walk Deatter. You've got to throw the pitches. 2 balls and no strikes. Three 3-0. First time this year that Deatter has been intentionally walked. Aren't a lot of intentional walks in softball. But there's one there. So an intentional walk to DeHatter.
The right fielder, number 23.
And the bases are loaded for Javarius Smith. Smith has fouled out, sacrificed, and singled. Batting with the bases loaded and 1 out. First pitch from Kavanaugh, called strike. Cole, who was the tiebreak runner, still at third base. Maka's at second, DeHatter's at first. 1 out here in the 8th. Kavanaugh's pitch. Off the plate, a ball and a strike. One and 1 the count to Smith. Hitting .273 with the bases loaded. And that's a called strike on the inside corner, 1 and 2. 1 ball and 2 strikes the count to Smith. On deck is Sidney Lee, the catcher. Kavanaugh's 1-2 pitch. High, 2 and 2. Two balls and 2 strikes. Kavanaugh with the pitch. Inside, 3 and 2. Smith ducked out of the way of that pitch. Could have gotten herself a run if she had hung in there, but you stand in there and let a fastball hit you. 3 and 2 the count. Kavanaugh with the pitch. Popped up, shallow left, it's a foul ball, caught by Newport. No advance as the ball comes in to Freischmidt. Smith's out on a foul pop-up for the second out.
The catcher, number 5, Sidney Lee.
Still no relaxing as Lee is the batter. Lee has singled, flied out, and struck out. Lee, a .333 hitter with the bases loaded, .406 with runners in scoring position, .438 with 2 outs. And that's the situation we have here. Bases loaded, 2 outs. First pitch from Kavanaugh is low, 1 ball and no strikes. One and 0 the count to Lee. Kavanaugh's pitch. Pop foul out of play, 1-1. One ball, 1 strike the count to Sidney Lee. Kavanaugh's pitch. Low and away, 2 balls and 1 strike. Two and 1 the count. Kavanaugh with the pitch. Pop foul out of play, 2 and 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Bases loaded here in the top of the 8th. No score. So Kavanaugh is a pitch that she can waste if she needs to. We're going to try and get her to chase. Kavanaugh with the 2-2. There she goes with the pitch off the plate. And now it's 3 and 2. And now the runners will be off with the pitch with 2 outs. Cole from third, Maka from second, DeHatter from first. Kavanaugh with the 3-2. Fouled away, we'll do it again. Kavanaugh's make her 70th pitch here in relief of Sappington, who threw 60 pitches in 4 innings. Kavanaugh's walked 1, struck out 4. 3 and 2 the count to Lee. Kavanaugh's pitch, low, ball 4. And Lee takes a 1-0 lead here in the 8th on a bases-loaded walk. as Cole scores the tiebreaker run. And Janina Remley will bat.
Number 24. Janina
Remley has struck out, flied out, and struck out. And that's taken low for a ball, 1-0. So Lee has broken through here in the 8th. Now Chloe Freischmidt will make her way to the circle to talk things over here with Kavanaugh. So they will have the discussion with DeAtter watching from second base. 1 ball and no strikes to count to Remley. Kavanaugh with the windup, the 1-0. Line foul, 1-1. So Sydney Lee, the hero so far for Lee, the freshman, drawing the bases loaded walk here in the 8th inning. The only walks by Kavanaugh, both in this inning. One was intentional, one was not. 1-1 pitch. Called strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count to Remley. Again, Tusculum will have the top of the order in the bottom of the 8th inning. Alloway, Newport, and Lazo, with Hodges the runner scheduled to be the runner at second base. 1-2 pitch is swung on a miss for strike 3. Remley strikes out for the 3rd time, but Lee gets a run in the inning. No hits, 1 error, and they leave the bases loaded. Tusculum gets its shot in the bottom of the 8th inning. They trail at 1-0 here on the Pioneer Sports Network. Bottom of the 8th inning, Tusculum trailing 1-0. And Caitlin Hodges will be the runner at second base to start the bottom of the 8th. Anna Alloway will be the batter. What may be the final home at bat of her career. She has flied out to left twice and reached on a fielder's choice. We'll see if Alloway is bunting. She is, and she bunts it foul, 1 strike. Alloway does have 1 sacrifice this season. Vogel just goes over the 100 pitch mark there at 101. She's allowed 2 hits, 4 walks, and 2 strikeouts. One strike to Alloway. Shows bunt again, bunts it foul again. Pounds the bat in disgust. She's down to the count 0-2. Now it's swing away time. 0-2 the count to Alloway. Vogel's pitch. Hit up the middle. Scalzo will throw on to first. And it works as good as a sacrifice as Hodges moves over to third base. So the Pioneers will have 2 chances here. And Newport will have the first opportunity. Newport has walked, grounded out, and flied out.
The left fielder, number 6, Callan Newport.
First pitch from Vogel. Swing and a miss. 1 strike. One strike the count to Callan Newport. Vogel with the 0-1. High, a ball and a strike. Infield is in. They'll try and cut off the tying run at home plate. All Newport needs to do is just hit a fly ball somewhere to the outfield. 1-1 pitch. In the dirt, blocked by Lee. 2 balls and 1 strike. 2-1 the count to Newport. Vogel with the 2-1. Called low, 3-1. 3 balls and a strike the count to Newport. Vogel, the 3-1. Bounced foul. It's full count. 3-2 the count to Newport. Vogel. The windup 3-2 pitch. Ball 4. 5th walk issued by Vogel. Runners now at the corners with 1 out for Haley Lazo.
First baseman, number 30, Haley Lazo.
Lazo has lined to center, walked, and singled. Newport tried to steal in the first inning and was thrown out to end the inning. Newport 12 for 14 in stolen base opportunities this season. Not going. High, 1 ball and no strikes. Chloe Freischmidt would be next, and then the pitcher's spot. Want to know the count to Lazo. Inside, 2 balls and no strikes. Two and 0 the count to Lazo. Hodges the runner at third, Newport at first. Hodges is the tying run, Newport's the potential winning run. Vogel's pitch. Low, 3 balls and no strikes. So Vogel now has to come in with 3. Don't expect that Lazo would be swinging with a 3-0 count. She's not. That one's right down the middle for a strike, 3-1. Lazo having to shade her eyes as that sun is just about to cross the horizon. The lights are on here at Red Edmonds Field. 3-1 the count to Lazo. The pitch. Lined. Fair ball. It's going to tie the ball game. On to third safely is Newport. Lazo at second, and the Pioneers have tied it at 1. Line drive off the glove of the third baseman. So the Pioneers have tied it on an RBI single by Lazo off the glove of the third baseman. It's actually a double, RBI double for Lazo. And now Chloe Freischmidt batting with a chance to win it. The first pitch to Freischmidt. Low, 1 ball and no strikes. So Lazo with the RBI double. Her 19th RBI of the season, 7th double of the year. The 1-0 pitch. Yanked foul, 1 ball and 1 strike. Newport at third base. Lazo on at second. Newport's run the only one that matters. 1-1 the count. The windup in the 1-1. Bunt, foul. Squeeze was on, and they fouled it off. Did Freischmidt, 1-2. Freischmidt does not have a sacrifice fly this season. No time like the present. The 1-2 pitch popped up, foul, out of play. One and two the count to Freischmidt. Newport watching for one in the dirt. The windup, the 1-2. Pop foul again, out of play. One and two the count to Chloe Freischmidt. Vogel waiting for the sign and gets it. The 1-2 pitch. Inside and low, 2-2. 2-2 to Freischmidt. The wind, the 2-2. High, 3-2. I think we've answered the question of who comes up next. Emily Sappington's in the on-deck circle. So Sappington would eliminate Kavanaugh from the game with re-entry rule if it comes to that. 3-2. The windup and the pitch. Line foul. Still 3 balls and 2 strikes to Chloe Freischmidt. Freischmidt has tendency to work deep counts. This will be the 9th pitch she's seen in this at bat. Vogel with the wind, a 3-2. Skied, foul, and they're going to let it drop. They wouldn't have gotten there anyway, but I think that's the right play there to let it drop foul. As Mako was kind of half pursuing it, kind of watching it, as that ball was right at the fence. Would have been a tough play. 3-2 the count to Freischmidt. Vogel's pitch. Skied to center field. This should be deep enough. Cole makes the catch. Tagging is Newport, and she will score, and the Pioneers win it 2-1. Tusculum wins it 2-1 here in the bottom of the 8th inning on a sacrifice fly by Chloe Freischmidt as she worked the at-bat. Cole went back, made the catch, and there was nothing that she could do as Newport crosses the plate with the winning run, and Tusculum walks it off here in the bottom of the 8th with 2 runs. They win it 2-1. For Tusculum in the 8th, they get 2 runs in the inning on a hit, and they leave 1. And they salvage the split of the doubleheader, winning in extra innings by a score of 2-1. Final game totals for Tusculum: 2 runs, 3 hits, 1 error. They left 7. For Lee, they had 1 run, 6 hits, 1 error. They left 9. The winning pitcher in relief, Ireland Kavanaugh, goes to 11-5. Nia Vogel takes a loss. She drops to 14-8. Time of the game, 2 hours and 8 minutes here at Red Emmons Field this evening. Kavanaugh did a great job in relief as she continues her home dominance. 4 innings, 3 hits, an unearned run, 2 walks, and 5 strikeouts. Between Sappington and Kavanaugh, 8 innings of work, 9 strikeouts, and 3 walks. Tough break for Vogel, who pitched very well as well. 7 2/3 innings, 3 hits, 2 runs, 1 earned, 5 walks, and 2 strikeouts. She threw 124 pitches. And the last wound up being a sacrifice fly by Chloe Freischmidt to win it by a score of 2-1 in 8 innings. With the win, Tusculum now 24-19, Lee 24-18. It's the final home game of the season for the Pioneers. They'll be on the road for their last 2 doubleheaders. Thursday at UVA-Y starting at 1 o'clock. Saturday at Newberry also starting at 1 o'clock. That'll do it for Tusculum softball coverage here on the Pioneer Sports Network for the 2022 season. Many thanks to everyone who made these broadcasts possible. Thanks to Aaron Fudge for his production work and Dom Donnelly pinch hitting today. And all of our folks behind the scenes, Jessica Biggers, who our official scorer, and among many other things, Angie Masiello, who did a great job on the scoreboard the second half of the season. We'd rather see her in the lineup, but she did a great job in the booth as well. And everyone who made these broadcasts possible, thank you. And we hope you enjoyed them as well. Tusculum wins it 2-1 over Lee here in 8 innings in game number 2. For everyone here on the Pioneer